Hi everyone, welcome back to Catherine's Plates where it's simply delicious. Today I want to take you through a recipe called creamy tortellini and sausage soup. It happens all in one pot. It is so easy to put together. It's got so many delicious flavors. We're going to be using just a bag of tortellini here, some fresh vegetables just to kind of give it that nice flavor, and I got some delicious sausage here. Then stick around to see how I'm just going to make this nice and creamy. Y'all ready? Let's go ahead and put this one together. First thing we're going to do is brown up the sausage, onions, celery, and carrots. Now I've already pre-chopped the onion for you and chopped up about 2 ribs of celery, and then I've got 3 skinny carrots here, and I'm just going to chop those up. You just want everything kind of in bite-sized pieces and very small because it'll cook pretty quickly. This is going to add a nice aromatic to our soup. Now this is an Italian sausage, and it just comes in a container like this in your store. It's a very mild flavor, but it smells very delicious and has some great flavor to it. Using a large soup pot or a Dutch oven, now I'm just using a cast iron Dutch oven and it's just laminated on the inside. What I'm going to do is put it on a medium-high heat. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. I'm using avocado oil. It's a nice healthy oil. It's a very light oil. It's going to add some nice flavor, and plus you don't really have to drain out the grease when you cook with avocado oil. So we're going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons, just enough to cover the bottom of the pot. Now I want to start getting that hot before we add everything to it. We're going to start with our sausage. This is 1 pound. Once it gets nice and hot, we're going to add that. Okay, it's starting to sizzle in there. I'm just taking off that paper. I'm going to take my meat chopper and start breaking up the sausage. Even use a Jimmy Dean sausage if you want to do that. If you want to use a hot, spicy sausage, you can do that also. Sometimes the sausage will come in lengths and you can just cut it open and pop out the sausage from the casing. Got that nice and broken up here. The meat chopper just breaks it up so fast and easy. What I'm going to do is go ahead now and add my onion. This is a half of a medium onion, and I just chopped it up. It'll cook down nice and soft, but we want to see those pieces in the soup. I'm going to add my carrots and the celery. Bring over my pepper and my salt. Okay, I'm going to cook this all down until the sausage is nice and browned up and the vegetables are soft. And go ahead and give it a pinch of black pepper. Add those flavors, you guys. And a little bit of salt, just a pinch, about 1/8 of a teaspoon. We're going to flavor as we go. We don't want to over flavor right now. Bring my spurtle over. A spurtle is a very narrow utensil, kind of like a wooden spoon, but it's very narrow. It's just like a little paddle. Good for mixing things up. I have a larger one too. It's a longer one. Now I'm not worried about the carrots softening up too much right now because this is still going to cook as a soup, and it'll have plenty of time to soften up. So we do want the onions soft and the celery getting kind of soft. And as you can see in the pot here, there's not a lot of oil in here because it kind of absorbed up into the vegetables and the sausage, so we're good with that. The sausage is nice and brown now. What we're going to do is add about 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. I'm going to stir this for about 30 seconds. It'll get nice and absorbed into the sausage and vegetables. That flavor is smelling so good. I'm glad this is a fast, easy soup. Okay, the 30 seconds is up. We're going to go ahead now. We want to start building our thickener. I have a 1/4 cup of flour. I'm just going to sprinkle it around the meat and the vegetables. And to kind of help that have a little bit more liquid, I got 1 tablespoon of butter. Just going to let that melt and then incorporate the flour into the vegetables and sausage. We're going to do this for 1 minute. Just stir. It'll take that raw flavor out of the flour, and then it'll coat everything. That's going to help thicken the soup. There's the butter. That butter will add a little bit of flavor too. Remember, we're building layers of flavor. All right, we're going to start making the soup now. We're going to add 6 cups of chicken broth, 6 to 8 cups. I'm going to put 2 cups of just boxed chicken broth. Get that going. We're going to put this on a high heat so we can bring this to a boil. Now the rest of the broth is going to come from this better than bouillon. It's chicken flavor, roasted chicken flavor, so it's going to add a delicious flavor to that. And it just looks like this, and then you just prepare it by putting 1 teaspoon to 1 cup of water. So I've got 4 cups of water there and 4 teaspoons of that better than bouillon. So that's going to add some delicious flavor to this soup. All right, let's go ahead and add that. There's 6 cups of broth in here right now. I've got 2 cups right here just sitting in case we need it, because as we add the pasta to this, it's going to absorb a lot of that liquid. And if you find you want to add more broth because you want a more brothy soup, then you have it ready right here. It smells very delicious. It's finally cold here in Southeast Texas. I mean, it was in the 30s last night and the night before, so it's time to bring the soups out. What I'm going to do is just give it a taste. Oh yeah, that's really good. That sausage has a little kick to it. It's very delicious. All right, I'm going to bring this to a boil, and I'm going to bring it back so we can finish the soup off. Our soup is almost to a boil. Let me show you the pasta that I'm going to be using. This is a 4-cheese tortellini, and it just comes in the pasta section of your store. It's a dry pasta, and it's got cheese on the inside. We're going to be using, let's see, how much is in here? 1 pound or 16 ounces. Our soup is starting to boil now. We're going to go ahead and add our pasta. All right, we're going to give this a stir. We're going to let this simmer for about 15 minutes. You want to check it every so often to make sure that the pasta is not sticking to the bottom of the pot and that you don't need to add any more broth. Just going to place the lid on. Now, just because my pasta is cooking for 15 minutes might mean yours won't, okay? The back of the package says cook this for 15 minutes, so that's what we're going to do. Now, if you're using a different type of pasta, maybe it's already pre-cooked and you're just going to put it in, definitely put it in at the end. I would definitely cook this, though, for about 10 minutes before you add your pasta if it's pre-cooked, or it's that 2 to 3 minute tortellini. Okay, you don't want to cook it for 15 minutes, just until it's done and tender. So I think every tortellini package is different, so just, cook this until it's done. Now, I'm going to check this every few minutes. Like I said, give it a stir and make sure that the pasta is not sticking to the bottom of the pot. And also we want to check our liquid level in case you may need to add some extra broth. If you do that, just check for seasoning and see if you need to add any more salt or pepper to it. All right, we're going to take the lid off for the final time. It looks really good in there. I'm going to bring you closer for a close-up. We're going to finish this off. Okay, I've turned the heat off. You just want to make sure that your pasta, your tortellini, is cooked all the way through and is nice and tender, which it is. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 cups of half and half. I'll make this nice and creamy. Now I've already turned off the burner. There's enough heat in here to heat through the half and half. If you don't have half and half, you can use heavy cream, or you can even just use milk. Look at that. That looks delicious. Okay, I got one more thing to add to it. I'm going to place some spinach in here. I've just got some fresh spinach. I'm going to top the top of it with the spinach. This is all going to wilt down, but it's going to give it a nice color, and then you got a nice vegetable in your soup too. I'm going to push it all down into there, get it nice and wilty. Now, while I was cooking the soup earlier, I added the extra 2 cups of chicken broth, and then I just seasoned with a little bit of salt. Look at this, you guys. Okay, I'm going to get a bowl, and I'm going to try this for you. Yep, yummy. Got my spoon. And I got my bite. I'm going to try it for you. It's such a colorful dish too. I like those carrots and celery in there. And that spinach. Such a warm soup. That sausage in there adds a nice flavor. A little kick of heat into it, but so delicious. But that creaminess of the soup helps that. All right, y'all let me know what you think of my creamy tortellini and sausage soup made all in one pot. Give me a thumbs up on this one. Y'all comment down below and tell me your favorite soups for the season. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and that bell notification. That way you'll always know when my shows are posted. Go check out my soup playlist. I will link it down below in the description box, or you can find it on my recipe blog, katherinesplates.com. I will see y'all on the next episode.